Hey V, welcome to the live. It's going to be kind of a short one, but I had some time, so I thought I'd go live for a bit. Hope you're doing well. Hey Sunny Stormy, how you doing? Welcome to the live. Getting a late start today. Had to run some errands this morning. So it's going to be a short day for everyone out here. What's up, Sunny boy? Yeah, I hear you. Oh, I almost forgot to let baby out. Gotta let baby out. Yeah, everything is going well here. I had to go pick up a truckload of pallets, and so they just kind of put me behind schedule. Oh, we also have a guest in our Airbnb right now, so we were given tours this morning. But everyone's happy to be out now. These geese crack me up the way they eat their food. Trying to put some more effort into YouTube. I'd really like to build up my YouTube following. I gotta go in here. I gotta grab a rooster. Who's this? This is Fancy Boy. Come here, Fancy. Come here, my guy. I'm trying to get away from spending so much time with TikTok. There you go. Oh, it's hard to hold the phone in one hand and film with the other. But I think YouTube is generally better to their creators than like TikTok and Instagram and all that. So I just want to try to see if I can't build up our YouTube a bit. Come here, Onyx. This is Onyx. Onyx is... Come here, buddy. Oh my goodness. Onyx is a one-eyed rooster. Missing that eye over there. He had a gnarly injury when he was little. Or I should say younger. He wasn't really little. But he was fighting with another bird and got poked in the eye. But he's adapted well. Like a chicken taking a dirt bath. V, yeah, sure. That'd be cool. I don't even know how to set that up yet. I mean, I don't have much of a following on here. I don't know that I really need it right now, but I need to figure out how to set that up, and I'll set you up with that. Come here, Rudy. I'm trying to get Rudy out of here. Come here, buddy. Come on, long legs. Nope. No escaping. No escaping. Sorry. Don't you talk back to me, man. Oh, my goodness. This is an absolutely gorgeous bird. I guess I didn't really think this out. I didn't have anywhere set up for you to go. Where am I going to put you? Is there anyone? There's no one in here yet, right? No, you can go in here. You can hang out with Hannibal. Hannibal's the guinea bird that's in there. Okay. There you go. Oh, there's your snacks, man. There's your snacks. I gotta figure out how to make... Oh, there it is. Oh, that's cool. I'm not sure what the question mark is for, Sonny. Unless you're curious about the moderators, I'm not sure. It's weird. So this is my first time really going live over here, and so my chat doesn't stay up all the time. Oh, I see. Yeah, well, we were, V helps me moderate when I do my lives over on TikTok. Like like, I don't know what the atmosphere is like on YouTube that much because I never go live. And so I don't really run into a lot of trolls over here, but TikTok is just riddled with trolls. So it's nice to have somebody on there to help deal with that. And then the other issue is on TikTok, sometimes I can have hundreds or even 1,000 viewers at once, depending on what I'm doing. And so you get a lot of people asking the same questions over and over again. So it's nice to have someone help you with that. Oh, you get the notification for YouTube better? That's cool. Yeah, I've lost my, or I should say TikTok has really just lost its appeal to me. I just don't think they treat their creators well on so many levels. Like, you can get like community guideline violations when you haven't done anything wrong. You can get suspended. You can get your live privileges suspended for no reason. And they have no good system to appeal it. It's just everything gets automatically denied. And so and then their creator fund is a joke too. I'd love to get this channel to where it's big enough to where I can start monetizing some of my videos. Because I actually have a handful of videos on here that do pretty well and get a decent amount of traffic even years after I posted them. And YouTube shows ads on them, but my account doesn't qualify for monetization yet, so I don't get any benefit from that. So I'd like to get it built up to where I meet the minimum requirements for that. What's up, Goose? These geese are wonderful. They're a mess, though. Who's that? Is that? I think that's Squirt. Yeah, that's who that is. That's Squirt. How you doing, buddy? He's a really nice goose. And there's Pumpkin. Pumpkin's a bit of a troublemaker. He's not really bad. He's just always stirring stuff up. That's Buddy. That's Buddy Goose right there. He's kind of a blockhead. I'm gonna go see how Pumbaa's doing. He's hunting for acorns right now. There's Holiday. Looking good. Looking good. Hey, Pumbaa. Find any good snacks, man? Find any good snacks? Yes. Such a good boy. His hair is like a stiff bristle brush. He's holding up pretty good. He's 18 years old. And then we've got Lurky Turkey right here. She's pretty old too. I think she's like 8 years old. Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate it. So this speckled, or I should say pied guinea fowl is named Marmalade. And the white one on the back is named Speck. And that's because she just has one little speck of black feather on her back, which you can't really tell because her wings are a little dirty right now, so you can't really. Plus it's so bright, it's almost shiny in the camera. Yeah, I don't even watch TikTok that much anymore. It's just, I think the quality of content on TikTok has gone down a lot too. No, I'm on YouTube. So I've got Sunny, Stormy, and V's watching too. And I have another viewer too. Mom says hi, everybody. She's right there. This is Barbie Chicken. Look at that fluffy butt. And that's Cheeks. And Starbucks. Okay. And so that's the Pekin trio. How do you share the video? Well, I don't know if your screen and my screen are the same, but I think on my screen, on the lower right-hand side, There's 3 dots. I don't know what your screen looks like as like just the viewer, but mom says you can go to the upper right-hand side.
Right there.
There's 3 dots up there, and then you click that, and then you can share it.
Right there.
18. Her cats are 18.
Who's that?
Sunny and Stormy.
Uh-huh.
That's a good old age for them.
Yeah, Token almost made it to 18.
Yeah. Who is Barbie? Barbie is this buff chicken right here. Mom says she's a troublemaker. She's a bit of a troublemaker, but she's a younger hen. She was a feed store surrender. I think it was a year before last. Tractor Supply. Oh, that's Friendly. He's the same breed as she is. But Tractor Supply a few years ago, I guess it was 2 years ago, they had this new brooder they were trying. It was like these towers. They were absolutely horrible. And so many chicks were dying and getting sick. And we ended up taking, I don't even remember how many, probably 24 babies from them. And I think about a third of them or so survived. They all had coccidia. And they were all just in such a bad way when we got them. And it was across the country. And so a lot of the creators, a lot of online creators got together and basically started pressuring Tractor Supply into going back to their old brooding method, and it worked. There was so much public backlash, and not just creators so much, but also like the fan. It was one of those times in life where you see the power of social media and a common goal. And so not only the creators, but like even their viewers would go into these Tractor Supplies and complain, and they would make videos when they went in showing the chicks in bad condition. And so after a couple of months of the creators pressuring Tractor Supply, they got rid of all their old brooders and switched back. So, you know, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad, you know, how many babies died, but it is kind of cool how we got them to change that around. Look at you. I see how you're looking at me, Squirt. He's so much sass. He's such a sassy boy. Sunny says hi to you too, Mom. I saw that comment. Mom says hi back. So I'm gonna go ahead and let these guineas out now because I got the other 2 up. I'll let these guinea birds out. So with the guinea fowl, they have a tendency to fight with each other, and they're like, of all the birds, they're really the worst when it comes to picking on an injured or sick bird, or really anyone who's weaker. And so we have a handful of them that just can't handle all of the rest of them. So we rotate them. So every other day, the main crowd comes out, and then we rotate. We have 2 other smaller groups. Do you see how they just kind of pick on each other? There's some trifling birds. But anyway, so we've got this group, and I always leave whenever I let them out. I always leave like 2 in here. They don't even want to come out. They're just like, we're staying in here. And that keeps the guineas from flying away, because guineas are prone to wandering off. They'll wander off in the woods and get eaten by something. I think these birds are so beautiful. Yeah, Sonny, same here. Same here. It's been an ever-evolving process of understanding and just growing more and more appreciation for the different types of animals. Look at you, Holiday. He's showing off. Look at that nice beard you have. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's so dark. He's got like this crazy. Kind of grumpy. You look like you might be a little bit grumpy today. I'm not sure. There's Midnight. Or Raven, I'm sorry. Raven. This chicken, this black chicken, I've had so many black chickens that I just get their names mixed up, even though she's the only, well, aside from Milkshake, she's the only all black chicken I have now. But I get it, I don't know why I have Midnight stuck in my head. That's a chicken we had a long time ago.
I think Rudy's gonna have some company today.
Oh, is Rudy supposed to be in here today? I put him over in the other cage. Yeah, they're taking a dust bath. They're enjoying. We have these little dust bath stations in a couple of the enclosures, and everyone kind of gets rotated through, so everyone gets to have a dust bath a couple of times a week. These girls are all over it right now. But everything stays so wet here, like always. Even if we go like 5 or 6 days without rain, it's always just so wet just because it's so, we're just in the woods. Oh, and I've never heard of iCare. I get a lot of petitions. I usually sign them when someone puts up like change.org, I guess is what it's called. You shouldn't have to pay anything to share a live V. I'll have to figure it out. You know, it's probably different on different phones too, on how to do it. You should have, unless you're watching like on your computer or whatever, there should be like 3 dots somewhere or some icon. I don't know. I'm not that worried about it. I appreciate it if you can, but it's not the end of the world. I'm just glad you're here. Oh, you might need to sign in. That makes sense. That makes sense. Also, if you're trying to watch it through like a web browser instead of the app, that might be part of the problem too. Look, see, these guys are bickering through the fence. And that's why that one's in there. And the crazy thing is the one that's up is not usually like going to be the aggressor. That's the one that needs to be protected. There's 2 of them in there. But guinea fowl are vicious. You have to be careful with your chickens too. You have to keep the ratio to where there are a lot more chickens than guinea fowl, because the guinea fowl will gang up and kill a chicken. They are really neat birds though. See, we got Milkshake over here.
Rudy calls them devil chickens.
Yeah, my sister calls them devil chickens, the guinea fowl. To us by a family who thought he was a hen. He turned out to be a rooster, and where they live, they couldn't keep roosters. We've had him for a couple years. He's doing really well. He's kind of skittish, but he's a nice bird. He had a leg infection, I don't know, a little over a year ago. Oh, there's Sunshine.
Bad chicken.
Helping herself to some snacks. Sunshine. So Sunshine is our newest resident. We accepted her, I don't know, probably 3 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago. And so she stays with the other hens at night, and we've gotten past the point where anyone really picks on her too much, but she doesn't have any friends.
She likes foghorn.
Oh, she likes foghorn?
Yeah, but I can't leave her in that thing all the time.
Yeah.
She'll never find a place in the flock.
But none of the female chickens like have befriended her, so she's just kind of like this solo chicken solo. So she gets away with a lot of shenanigans, like helping herself to the food bowl. Looking good, Holiday. And there's Elizabeth with the angel wing. She's got angel wing. She came to us like that. Not too big of a deal for a domestic goose that, you know, has all of her needs met anyway. She's actually one of the sweetest geese that we have. And that's Zorro right there with the dark on her head. And that one on the right there is Sunny Boy. And then over here is Picasso. Picasso is a complete psycho. Picasso tries to kill me every time he sees me, pretty much. We think, Picasso, you're handsome. I'm gonna keep this gate between you and me, though, because you're a psychopath. Crazy man. I don't know why. He's a shelter rooster. He came to us from a shelter, and he's super, super aggressive towards people. So he does get to come out. About once a week, he gets to come out. I mean, he's got this big cage. He's not like cramped up, and he's got a buddy. For whatever reason, that's Anthony, the guinea fowl. For whatever reason, those two get along really well. You'll research it for next time. That's cool, V. That's cool. It's all good. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, well, he gets some yard time about once a week. When he's out here, just when we have him out here, it's just no one, even me. I don't even come in the yard unless I'm coming in to grab him and put him up. Rudy, I gotta get you, man. It's your day with the dust bath.
No, I turned
Oh, you changed. Oh, you let Foghorn loose.
Yeah,
Oh.
the ladies were in there, and Foghorn's real gentle.
Okay. Yeah, we're trying not to let the hens have any exposure to the roosters right now, just because a couple of them, for some reason, there's a couple of them that just don't have many feathers on their back, and they're not growing in well. But there are a handful of roosters like Foghorn who are very gentleman-like, probably because he's really old, and he's another shelter rooster. He's super old, and he never forces himself on any of the girls. Aggressive towards the hens. So he's a good match for the hens because he's not too hard on them. He's also a much smaller rooster. He's, as far as weight goes, he's not very heavy. How you doing, Scarlett? Looking good, lady. And he shares his food like a nice boy. Foghorn, you're such a sweetie. Such a sweet guy. Oh. What's up, fancy boy? What? What? Who is this? Is this Maverick? What's going on, Maverick? You're a sweetie. You're such a sweetie. Maverick, you're such a sweetie. Some of the geese are ornery, and some of them are just little sweethearts. And Maverick is one of the really nice geese. Holiday's kind of the head honcho in the yard. He's the top of the pecking order, just because he's kind of a bully. I mean, at least he's not super aggressive with most of the animals. The only one he really goes after is Pumbaa, so we can't let them out together. And I don't know why that is. It's very strange. And then as far as all the other birds go, he just won't let him get any food if he's eating. He doesn't share his food. What's up, buddy goose? Got a big head, man. So see, she's carrying the food bucket. Yeah, so he's actually growing in his new feathers. He molted. That's why his feathers look messed up. He's trying to fight the bucket right now. But you can see right there, you can see all these pen feathers. Hold on a second. If I get him to stand still for a minute and not put his tail down. Holiday, come here. Hold still. Let me see if I can show everybody. It's not easy to do. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but he's got a bunch of new pin feathers coming in. So he'll have a fresh new tail in a month or so. And that's why they look a little scattered still. That's interesting with those YouTube video icons. How are Bert and Ernie? Bert and Ernie are doing well. They are up front with Puddles. So they're way up there. Have a we've got that other fenced-in area up there that's got the net over it, and so that's a good place for them. They don't fight with the pecans as much anymore, but the funny thing is that Blue, that duck right there, is the aggressor. He's very, very protective of these two females, and so he will attack Bert and Ernie, and especially Waddles. They can be together for brief periods of time, but just not unsupervised. And so we keep Bert and Ernie and that whole crew. There's 6 of those ducks now. They stay out front, and the pecans stay around back. Sonny, I see your question mark, but I'm not entirely certain if that's directed towards me or what that's about, but I do see it. I feel like I hear something up in the woods. It's probably just a squirrel. You never know, make sure it's not one of the birds. It's so beautiful here right now with the trees, all the leaves on the trees. We can come back here and show you the biggest rooster on the sanctuary. There's Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy's a really nice guy. This is the biggest rooster I've ever had in my entire life. His name is Chief, and he weighs. He is another shelter rooster, so is Big Bird. But Chief's pretty nice. We had a period of time for a few months where he was really aggressive towards me. I don't know what that was all about, but for whatever reason, he's decided he doesn't really want to kill me anymore. So now we're good. He doesn't attack me anymore when I go to visit. Big Bird is just kind of a scaredy bird. He runs around like a psycho, but he's got just the most beautiful comb. His comb is really cool. It kind of flares off in the back. He's a nice bird overall. We got these guys trying to figure out if they can escape or not. No, I don't need any guinea birds getting out. I don't feel like chasing y'all around today. No escaping, Big Bird. Sorry, man. Oh, you can see the pin feathers? Cool. Oh, Puddles and Waddles? Puddles and Waddles are doing good. So Puddles and Waddles were more shelter birds. They came, we have a partnership with our local animal shelter. So basically whenever they have difficulty rehoming like a bird, like a duck or a chicken or whatever, they call us and we take them. And Puddles and Waddles came to us. Someone had been living out of their car, and they'd been living in the car with them, and they'd been eating scraps from a restaurant as babies. And so they had severe vitamin deficiencies, and which caused leg deformities. We were able to lessen the severity for Puddles. And so Puddles can be out among other ducks. He has difficulty walking, but he just kind of has like this exaggerated waddle when he walks. And so he does really good. And he keeps up well with the other ducks, and so he can stay outside. But Waddles, his legs were just too far gone. His legs were too far gone when we got him. We tried bracing him for a couple of weeks, in addition to his vitamin therapy and all that. But he's not able to really walk much at all. I mean, he can use his legs to kind of move around a little bit, but he can't. We tried putting him outside for a while, but he started to go downhill. His feathers were getting all tattered, and he wasn't eating at all, and he wasn't preening, and he was just unhappy. And so after a short while outside, we decided he was going to be a house duck, and so he lives in the house with us, and he does good in there. He must be happy because he started preening himself again. So he keeps his feathers really nice, and he gets a bath once a day. And he gets all the snacks he wants, and he visits with the people and the cockatoos. And yeah, it is. Yeah, it was sad with the way things turned out with Waddles. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. You know, at least he seems to be pain-free for the most part. He's not especially mobile. He just kind of lays there all day. But he's showing all the signs of being happy enough because he's the biggest indicator is the preening. Like if he was unhappy, he wouldn't preen his feathers at all, and he has really nice clean feathers. So he's taking care of himself, so he must be happy. He talks to me while I'm in the room with him. We put him in our dining room area right next to Cody's cage, so he's off to the side, but he's also still like close enough to everyone to where like he sees us and we talk to him every time we go through there, which is a whole lot. So I can are we about done back here? Do you need me for anything else? Can you close up? Uh-oh. Someone got goosed. Do you have that, or do you need me to close that for you? You got it? All right, I'm going to walk around front. I'll show you guys Waddles. Not Waddles, Puddles. I get those two, their names mixed up. The names are so close to each other, and I'm always calling Puddles Waddles. I don't know what's the matter with me. Like that. Bye, Holiday. I'll see you later, man. Friendly is such a handsome rooster. That guy right there. He's pretty nice too, but he does bite my hand sometimes. I think he just gets like super excited when he sees me. It's really weird because it doesn't feel like it's like this super aggressive attack or anything. My poor garden is all dying back. Peppers are still going strong. Let's see. How are the emus? Emus are doing well. I visited with them this morning. It is their mating season, so they're extra irritable right now, I guess is the easiest way to say it. They're bickering with each other, so I'm keeping an eye on that. They're both females, so that can be a bit troublesome sometimes, having two females together during breeding season. But I think it's less of an issue because there's no males around. So that's Waddles there on the left, right there. Well, he's kind of, that big gray duck right there that's going, all you can see is his butt now. So he's doing really well. And so the one closest to us right here is Bert. And then right behind him is Rosemary. And then that one right there is Time. See her feathers? Look at her wing feathers. My goodness. So beautiful. They're all looking really good. And so they've got this big area out front here. So they do really well and they're happy out front. What's up, Puddles? What's up, Puddles? Puddles has such a musky scent to him. I mean, he doesn't stink or anything. He's just got you can tell he's a male. Very strong, musky smell. And he's actually probably the most handsome duck out here right now. He's got that really nice green head. It's kind of hard to tell because there's not a lot of light out here. And he's bigger. He's bigger than Bert and Ernie, which definitely is helpful for him because Bert and Ernie are the dominant boys out here. Even the girls kind of tell him off. You see how they're kind of telling him? Yeah, we're talking about you, Puddles. And he's got that really pretty collar, that white ring around his neck. But this is a really nice space out here for them because they've got all this ground cover to forage. They're always out here foraging for bugs. And they seem to be really happy out here. Yeah, Mom got goosed. But these guys really know the routine. All we got to do is open the fence back there and they come up here and they put themselves in here. We don't have to do anything. I just come and close the gate. So they're doing really well. I like their orange feet. I think that's my favorite part is their orange feet. So if you don't know, the 3 females actually came to us out there. Oh yeah, they know the routine. These guys are so smart. They get, I mean, it takes maybe 2 or 3 days tops of doing the same thing over and over again. And by then they've got it. They know what they're supposed to do. They don't give me any trouble. At nighttime, I just come out and I just open the gate and I don't even have to chase them out of here. They just come running out and they go straight back to bed. So they make life easy that way. I hear you. Those girls are loud though at night, like 4 o'clock in the morning time. This one right there starts sounding off really loud for like 5 minutes every night. It's just so random. Puddles, you're looking good, man. Your feathers are a little bit ruffled though. I think he's got a really full crop. It looks like he's got a really full crop right there. Somebody stuffed himself before he came around front. I think they are happy. I think Bert and Ernie would be happier if Puddles wasn't around because they had all these girls to themselves before. But I also think that Puddles is, I don't know, I guess he's old enough now to kind of know what he's doing and be competition for him. Look at, I don't know what, this is Sage right there. That little wing bobbing she's doing is kind of funny. What are you doing, Sage? I think someone told me she's a cayuga duck. I'm not really a duck species expert. I just know that the males are rowan ducks. And then Time, man, she's got so much color in that wing. Every once in a while the sun hits it right. So I don't know a lot about the females either. I mean, I assume they're fairly young just because their feathers are in really good shape. But they were dumped at a water treatment facility in Ohio with a whole bunch of other ducks. And at the time, Bert and Ernie were bachelors and they didn't have any girlfriends and they really wanted some girlfriends. And so when Goodsprout reached out and asked if we could take a couple, we were like, heck yeah, we could. We need some girls for these guys. And they've just kind of been one big happy family ever since. I'm really glad that Puddle has been able to integrate. We separate them at night. So all the girls and Puddles stay together. And we kind of did that to try to build some rapport or whatever between Puddles and the girls. I try to get the girls to accept him first. And I think that helped Bert and Ernie finally accept him. I just got my 10% battery warning. So if I disappear all of a sudden, it's because my battery died. But anyway, so Bert and Ernie go in a separate cage at night. But they get along pretty good together. Time to break out the weed eater though. My property's looking overgrown. I would have done it already, but I kind of threw my back out like 3 weeks ago. And so I've been taking it easy. It's one thing that sucks, man, as I start getting older. something that would have taken like 2 or 3 days to bounce back from has turned into a month or two of taking it easy. This is like my favorite time of the year. I could care less about summer or winter or any of that, but man, when you can smell all the leaves are falling, it's like the best time of the year. Yeah, turn the water off. Okay. You ready to go in? We got to feed Brandy chicken. I got some Brussels sprouts going. I don't know if they're going to produce anything before winter comes. It's my first year trying to grow them. I love Brussels sprouts. You want to see Beauregard? All right, well, we're going inside. Hopefully my battery doesn't die before I plug the phone in, and y'all can watch us feed Brandy chicken if you want. Oh, you had your birthday. Oh, happy birthday. My birthday was October 1st. There's a big old bowl of food for the duck.
And for cookies.
All right, I need a charger cable. Hold on, guys. I got to get a charger. There's Cookie Boy. Why is my phone all blurry? It's trying to focus on the cable, I guess. Do you want to get Brandy's her food going? All right. Plug this in. Rushing to try to get this before. Okay, there we go. All right, we're plugged in, but I need to go get my camera stand real quick. I'm gonna set this down. I guess all y'all get to look at is the floor for a second. I'm gonna go grab my camera stand, see what we're doing.
Brandy's syringe, Brandy's food.
Okay. Probably should try to flip this around. That way I can. How do I do that? Oh, like that. Okay, so like this. Flip these around. Oh, that looks pretty good. Oh yeah, you'll be able to see us feed Brandy. All right, let me grab my shoes. So Brandy is, how old is Brandy?
Probably at least 9.
I think she's 9. Brandy is a 9-year-old hen that, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, lost her eyesight. I think it looks like, I mean, her eyes are kind of cloudy, like maybe she's got cataracts. I'm not really sure, but she stopped eating when that happened, but she has no other health issues. So we just syringe feed her twice a day, and she seems to have a pretty good quality of life otherwise. When it's nice out, a lot of times we'll put her outside so she can hang out with the rest of the birds. I'll be right back. I'm going to get Beauregard in a second.
Oh, bottles, you are a mess. I got clean new nets.
go get Beauregard. Hey, big guy. Hey, man. Come here. Well, hello. How are you? How are you? I know. You're gonna see yourself in the camera in a second. So this is Beauregard. Let me see. I had to catch up with let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I do try to take good care of Brandy. She's a sweetheart. I really enjoy the time I spend with her when I'm feeding her. But Beauregard is 20, I'd have to look it up. He's like 25 years old or something like that. And he wears a collar because he's a self-mutilator. We adopted him as an adult, and he actually will dig at the skin on his keel bone. And I've had him to a couple of different vets. We've done x-rays and every test, you know, skin scrapings and all kinds of tests on him. And the vet said he has nothing physically wrong with him. It's a mental issue. And so it took years. We've been dealing with this almost since we got him. I'm not sure what his main stressor was. It might have been just going through puberty. They get really stressed out during that time. But, you know, we've gone through so many versions of this collar, but my sister actually makes, it's a two-piece collar. My sister makes this for me, and this version is the only version that works, so it stops him from digging at himself. That's easy to get on and off, and it doesn't wear any sores anywhere on his body. I had some made by someone in Oregon that was a similar design, but it would wear sores on the back of his neck. And then the only thing the vet ever gave us was like a rigid, hard plastic collar, and that would wear sores. And you had to take that on and off with nuts and bolts, and like screwdrivers and stuff. It was a real pain. And so it would be like, you know, he hated it, so he didn't want me to put it on him. And so he would fight me so much to put it on him that I wouldn't take it off him very often because I'd risk getting the living daylights bit out of me. And so this one, he doesn't even hate this collar. Like when I gotta go put it on him, he actually sticks his neck out and lets me put it on him. We kind of make it out like it's a big deal and like it's his nighttime. It's what he wears at night. Or like when I'm outside doing the critters. We can actually take this off of him right now. Let's see. Get where y'all can see it. Kind of. There we go. So this just Velcros off, just like that. That comes off real easy like that. And then this piece here is also just Velcro. It's made out of an old pair of blue jeans. And she sewed extra thick padding on the inside, so there's a lot of padding. And then the way this fits together, and this is like the key to the design, there is this area in the back that doesn't have any padding in it, but what it does with that padding is it kind of creates this little bit of extra space, like 1/4 of an inch of extra space inside of this circle. And his neck is kind of like this weird curvy S shape. And so what that allows it to do is it allows his neck to kind of poke out and rub on the back without putting too much pressure and wearing a sore on his neck. And so it's like 1,000,000 times more comfortable for him. He's a good boy. I always have to remind myself not to pet them on the back. It's so hard to resist. Like I try to do all of the petting on his head, especially this time of year, because it is mating season for these guys as well. And your risk of getting bit goes up like 100 times. So far, so good. But I think we got another month or so before he starts calming back down. But he's a good boy. He's been pretty well behaved lately. I step up. You good boy. You want to see yourself in the camera? You a big bird, man. You coming over here? You ready to do brandy? It's time to go get brandy chicken. Oh yeah, he did bite me on a live stream once, didn't he? That was a while ago. He's dished out some really nasty bites in his day. I've had him peel the skin off of my knuckles before. They just have so much power in their beak. They can just. It happens in a flash too. They're so fast when they decide to do it. So it's always important to pay attention to what you're doing and their body language. I usually try not to hold him when he's super stimulated. So like when we have visitors, when my nieces and nephews come over and they're running around, he gets really excited, and so he stays up during that time. Because Beauregard doesn't really have any kind of regulator when it comes to his excitement. He's either relaxed like this or he's a complete psycho. There's no in between with him. So he's not the kind of bird that you can really goof around with. I've learned that the hard way. Cody, on the other hand, Cody and I kind of roughhouse as much as you'd roughhouse with a bird anyway, all the time. And she'll bite me, but it's a play bite. She doesn't break the skin or anything. And she's more than capable, but she knows it's a game, and she knows she's not supposed to hurt me. But, you know, she wins if she gets me. If she bites me without breaking the skin, she wins the game, and she knows how that works. It's kind of funny. You're heavy, man. You need help holding my arm up. He's preening all them feathers.
I'm gonna put my shoes on.
Okay. Oh, you gotta get through here. All right. As soon as you get your shoes on, I'll go grab brandy. You're heavy, Beauregard. His chest actually looks really good right now. I think it's been a long time since he's picked at it.
Well, because he hasn't done without his collar.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't walked off and forgotten him somewhere.
I did forget and leave him in the garage the other night. Not very long, but it's because I'm in every time I walk past his cage, I'm in a habit of saying hi, and so I walked past his cage and I was like, oh crap. He was just down there, sitting, behaving himself, wondering where I went.
All right, you can go get her.
Okay, brandy time. Here you go, Beauregard. Brandy. 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 Hey, baby. Oh my goodness. Super fluke, super fluke, super fluke. There you go.
Hey, darling. Hey, 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 it's okay. You hungry for some snacks? You ready to get some snacks, huh? Okay, sit down. You have a little water bottle?
No, the fridge. It's in the
Oh,
fridge.
it's in the fridge?
Hey, you hungry? You want some dinner? Huh?
There you go.
Want some snacks?
How is it we always end up with so much extra in here?
It was right at 45.
Oh no, I know. It does the same thing to me. It like always. I guess just the heat makes it all expand a lot. See how this goes. This kind of feels like it's a little loose anyway. I don't think we need to add any extra water. Okay, let's see. We need to turn this so everyone can see. Okay. So
Smile for the camera, Brandy.
Brandy gets 45 milliliters of food twice a day. Here you go, darling. Okay. And then I just put a little bit in her beak. She eats it right up. And this is kind of a concoction that I've come up with over all the years of feeding them and kind of researching what's really good for them. And so this has, I mean, the base is just a fermented flock feed, but it also has sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds and peas and a raw egg. If I'm treating a laying hen, I'll include the shell, but Brandy is not a laying hen, thankfully, so no shell. She gets cinnamon and nutritional yeast and oregano and some parsley, garlic, and some turmeric, which is anti-inflammatory in case she has any joint pain. That helps with it. Trying to, oh, there we go. You had to go feed the dog, you're back? Okay, well, we're feeding Brandy now. I wish this would make my comments stay up. I don't know how to make my comments stay up. They disappear after a second. Sunny too, yeah. There you go, darling. This is the first time I've had a blind chicken.
She don't like being wrapped in a towel because she
Yeah.
wants to flap her wings.
She does not like the towel. But her wings, her feathers, because she's a silky, she's not like regular birds, and so the tips of her feathers are like little razor blades. When she flaps them, she'll scratch you up. Here you go. So Mom had a tooth yanked out the other day. So she got to take antibiotics.
Yeah, antibiotics.
No fun. There you go, Brandy. V says she's sorry to hear that.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad it's gone because it was hurting.
Yeah, I think it was broken, and they had to take it out in pieces, and it was causing her a lot of pain. So she's a lot better now than she was a week ago. We're lucky to have an amazing dentist that really cares about their patients, and they're not just like sometimes you get a doctor or a dentist that's just kind of pushing the people through or whatever. But not our dentist took the time and called around that day to find an oral surgeon that could see Mom that day instead of her having to suffer with that tooth any longer. And so she got it all taken care of that day, and so we're very blessed to have such a wonderful dentist. She's very skilled too. She's really good at what she does, and so we're really lucky to have that. I've had several dentists in my life, and this is the only one I don't have any anxiety about when I go to see him. I'm not worried about getting my teeth worked on with her. Yes, the super floof. You're a super floof. There you go. See, breakfast is a little late today. It's almost dinner. That's all right. She's doing good. We'll probably get it. We'll get her second feeding in. It'll just be late. When she first came inside, it took us a while to figure out how much food she should be getting. So we were weighing her a couple of times a week, and she just kept losing weight. We started off only giving her 30 milliliters a day, or not 30 milliliters, 30 milliliters per feeding. And we didn't want to overfill her crop and injure her, and we gradually.
Well, remember she had that knot in her crop.
Oh yeah,
for a
she
while.
did. She did. She had this weird granular type, I don't know, obstruction or something in her crop at some point. But it didn't really, it only took 3 or 4 days to clear up. So I think she just was having, she must have ate something that just didn't break down well. But after a few weeks of trial and error, we finally got this figured out to where she's maintaining, or well, she actually has been gaining a little bit of weight, which is good. That's what we wanted.
And she's active during the day and she sleeps well at night. And every morning at like 5 o'clock, she walks over to where my bed is and she pecks on my bed
Wakes you up.
and wakes me up, yeah.
Did I get-
Almost like clockwork, right between 4:45 and 5 o'clock in the morning. I think the sun is starting to come up, and even though she's blind, I think she can see light.
Well, that's if these are cataracts, that might be the case. If that's what her issue is, because she does have like this cloudiness to her eyes. Hey, I got you. It's all right, darling. See, are those good snacks? I put lots of nutritional yeast in there. That's supposed to taste good for a chicken.
Hey, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up. You're not going, you're not going.
She wants to get out of that towel.
Yeah, she's out of it now. Wake up, wake up.
I can try to thin this out a little bit. It's not really that thick, but
Need some water in that food, huh? You having a hard time swallowing it?
oh, she's purring. That's a happy chicken. You purring for me, Brandy chicken lady? There you go. The good stuff? Huh? Come on. Just a little snack. She'll sometimes she'll just be back there pecking at thin air, at nothingness. I think she might be a little senile. I don't even know, have we ever had a chicken this old before?
You know what, I don't know how old was Willa? Not that old.
Yeah, I don't think she was that old. Brandy's setting records over here for us. Ah, the cashew milk is the way to go. Oh man, the first time I tried cashew milk, could not believe it. So depending on how I'm using it, like if I'm just putting it in a sauce or like in coffee or something like that, just cashew milk. I mean, I think you can buy cashew milk at the store, or you
Yeah,
can just make it at home. It's better if you make it at home, and you just got to get raw cashews, like raw unsalted cashews, and you just blend them up with some water, and you can soak them depending on, like, it depends on what kind of blender you have. Sometimes if you try to make it and it seems like it's a little gritty or granular or whatever, you should just make sure you soak your cashews, usually like overnight. Just soak them in some water in the fridge. And then you can drain that water off and put new water in if you want, when you make your cashew milk, or you can make cashew cream. You can make it so thick it's almost like a paste if you want. If you're like using it in a
Cashew
sauce.
sour cream.
Yeah, or you make it like cashew sour cream or whatever. But like cashews are our go-to for dairy substitute. We buy cashews 45 pounds at a time. We buy them So it's like a 6 month supply or so, I guess. And we use that for all of our dairy substitute when we're making something homemade. And it comes out, we end up saving like $2 a pound that way versus buying them, a pound at a time. So it's like a significant savings. But I also use cashews for like my cereal milk too. And when I'm doing that, I'll add a couple of drops of monk fruit extract, which is just like a sugar-free sweetener, and a couple of dashes of salt to it. Not a lot. You don't want to make it salty, but the salt makes it more similar, I think, to like a dairy milk. And it's just better for cereal because a lot of your cereal is kind of sweet anyway, so you need something to balance that out. I'm not sure what you're asking, Sonny, with your comments there. Yeah, you can Google. Mom says you can Google a recipe for cashew.
Sonny and Stormy says you eat meat. No, we do
Oh
not.
no, we don't.
We don't eat any animal products.
We don't use any animal products at all. When was it? When did we like? I mean, I've been a vegetarian since I was in my early 20s, like 21, I think.
January of 2014.
In January of 2014, we went vegan, so we're creeping up on
Hey, where you going? Where you going?
9 years here.
Where are you going? She says, I'm done. She's hiding her face from me.
She is. See her do this? She does this when she wants to take a break. I gotta give her a minute. She just hides her little head. She's like, I need a break. You don't do salt? Yeah, I do sea salt. I've always liked salty stuff. You know what? I like both extremes. I like salty and sweet, and so I have to really watch myself. But I use sea salt, and as far as sweeteners go, monk fruit extract is the primary sweetener I use, just because it doesn't have, it's not really bad for you like eating a lot of sugar is. I think the longer I've been vegan, the easier it is. Like, it's easy. It's easy now. I don't even want to say the easier it is. I've long passed to the point of where it was a challenge. Between all of your, there's a lot more food options out there for you now. And I just try new stuff. Like, we have this product that we started using about a year ago called PumFu. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I like PumFu.
I used to eat a lot of tofu. And I like tofu just fine. Kind of took a while to figure out how to cook with it and make it actually taste good, but now I love tofu. But I haven't eaten it in months because I found a product called PumFu. And it's almost the same thing, but instead of being made with soy and having to be like heavily processed, like soy has to go through all these different processes to be tofu. I don't really know them all. But with PumFu, PumFu is one ingredient only, pumpkin seeds, that's it. And so PumFu, tofu doesn't really have a lot of fat in it. It's mostly protein, but PumFu has a lot of fat in it. It's good fat. It's from pumpkin seeds, but it has a much richer taste just on its own. Sometimes I'll just coat it with a little bit of like onion powder and some cornstarch, a little bit of salt, and stick it in the oven and just bake it until it's a little crispy. And you can almost eat a bowl of that like they're chips or something. Really good.
I love when she purrs for me.
£98. I wish I was 98 pounds. I guess not at my height. I could stand to lose about 20 good pounds, maybe. But I do like food a lot. That's the funny thing is when I first went vegan, I felt like my diet was really restrictive. And then a couple of years ago, I went gluten-free. So now I don't eat any wheat products either. Um, and I almost think that going gluten free has been more difficult and more of kind of like a blow to my diet or like a bummer. I miss this stuff more than ever going vegan ever was. Um, I miss bread and pasta. I mean, I still have they have gluten free pasta, but it's not the same thing. Good pizza crust, I mean, gluten free pizza crust is only fair. It's just not the same. Um, but you know what? I learned how to make like tortillas out of oatmeal, and that's really good. And I've just kind of practiced cooking with vegetables more, learning new ways to cook with vegetables. I actually posted about it. I made some spaghetti the other night, and I had some squash left over out of the garden. And I cut that squash in like thin strips lengthwise, and I tossed it in some cornstarch that had some smoked paprika and some onion powder in it, and just a little bit of salt. And I coated the squash with some olive oil first, and so it soaked up all of that olive oil into the cornstarch, and then I just baked it in the oven until it was a little crispy. Man, that was really good. I could eat squash like that all day long. I do the same thing with eggplant. I grew my own eggplant this year, so I ate a little more eggplant than I usually do. You like pumpkin seeds, V? You should see if they got Pumfu up there in Canada. I don't know if they do or not. It's by Foodies is the name of the company. Whole Foods doesn't carry it here. The only place I've found that carries it is it's a place called Mom's Organic Market. I don't know that they have any of those in Canada. It's kind of a smaller grocery chain. And then you can you order it online through Foodies?
You can,
You can.
yeah.
So if you Google Foodies, I think if you want to try it, you can order it online through them. If you decide to do that and you want any pointers on how to cook it, let me know, because I'll give you the recipe for what I do. 5'3" Sunny and Stormy's 5'3". Yeah, I'm 6'2", so I don't think 98 pounds would look okay on me. I think people would be worried about me. The lightest I've been in my adult life is about 198, 195 pounds, something like that, and that was immediately after I had a really bad back injury, and I had to have back surgery. I lost like 20 pounds in 10 days. It was a rough time. I actually have a picture of myself, and like when I lose weight, I lose it all in my face first. I basically look like a skeleton. I did not look good at that weight. Not healthy anyway. Going gluten-free would be far down the road. Well, I'll tell you what. So as far as losing weight goes, like I used to be 260 pounds, and now I usually stay closer to like 216, 215, something like that. And going vegetarian, I did lose some weight, and I can't remember how much. It wasn't a ton, but what I noticed is that it was a lot easier to keep the weight off. Like I didn't have to, like before that, I felt like I was fighting a losing battle all the time. And then when I went vegan, I was a vegetarian for almost 10 years, I think. I wasn't really tracking the time, but it was close to 10 years before I went vegan. And when I went vegan, of course, cutting out dairy, like cheeses and milk and things like that, it became even easier to keep the weight off. And so instead of staying in the upper 220s weight-wise, because that's about where I was when I went vegan, now it's a lot easier to stay like a 215 area is what I usually shoot for. Going gluten-free can actually make it a little easier to keep weight off just because you're not eating, especially when you first start out and you don't know what you're doing, you're not eating a lot of carbs because everything kind of, all the gluten-free stuff tastes like garbage when you first start out and you haven't quite figured it out. There are some brands that make really good gluten-free stuff and some brands that don't. And one of the challenges with being gluten-free is a lot of your gluten-free baked products, like any kind of snack product or bread, it's gonna have some kind of animal product in it. It's either gonna have a milk powder or like an egg as a stabilizer. And so it's really difficult to find, I don't even think we can find gluten-free vegan bread in a grocery store. I think Whole Foods might sell one variety and it sucks because it's like these, it's almost like, I mean, like each piece of bread is really tiny. It's not, you can't do anything with it. But I did find a place online that makes a vegan gluten-free bread that actually has slices big enough to do something with. And so sometimes I order from them, and it's a really good bread too. Looking at the recipe book. Yes, I looked through it. I found a Brussels sprout recipe in there I was checking out, and Mom's been looking through it too.
So Sonny Stormy says vegan 10 years now. So she's been vegan for
Oh,
10 years? That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew you were a vegan. That's super cool. Yeah, I don't miss it. I mean, I guess if there's like two things that they haven't really figured out how to replace, and they're both cheeses, is a good Parmesan cheese and a good mozzarella cheese. There are substitutes for both of those, and they're both good enough to make pizza with, for sure, and I like them, but it's not the same. But I don't really miss it so much as I do wish that there were better plant-based options for those two things, because I've always been like, pizza has always been one of my favorite foods, making homemade pizza. But what's cool is there is a restaurant chain around us. It's got, I think, 2 locations near me, and they not only have a gluten-free crust, but they also have plant-based cheeses as options, which is super cool, because that kind of thing sure as heck didn't exist when we first went vegan. There were no restaurant options for vegans around here. Her kids have paws. Yeah, that's pretty much how I am too. Hey, lady, are you purring for me? Are you a sweetheart?
Where are you going? Where are you going? You're not going nowhere. We're not done. We're not done. No, we're not done. Got a little more. Got to eat it all, darling.
Yeah, I mean, I've struggled with my weight pretty much my whole life too. I mean, even now, I really feel like I could lose 15 or 20 pounds. But I mean, I could do it if I really wanted to. But you know, it's that choice. It's that choice every time you sit down to eat. I mean, I could go on a very, you know, cut out a lot of the fats, and I think the biggest thing that shoots me in the foot is I'm always eating late. I stay up late too. I don't go to bed until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, but you know, by the time, and it depends on the time of year too, but by the time I get done doing the critters and I get inside and got everything settled in here and it's time to make dinner, this time of year it's a little easier. Usually I can eat by like 9 o'clock, but in the summertime I either have to eat really early, and then I run into the problem of if I eat too early, then I get hungry later on. It kind of defeats the purpose. Or I have to eat super late because I put everyone up when it's getting dark.
You got just a little
No.
more. Just a little more.
I don't know.
hiding her face.
She's hiding her face. She's being that way today.
She said, I'm done. I'm done with you.
She's not done. I don't want to hear it. She's got to get all of this.
You hear him, Brady? He said you got to get it all.
Oh, you never liked cheese, Sonny? Man.
Grilled cheese sandwich with some homemade tomato soup.
Well,
I
actually,
don't do
that-
that anymore.
Well, no. Nowadays they got that the Follow Your Heart brand cheese has a smoked Gouda
Yeah,
that makes a
good.
really good grilled cheese sandwich. I don't ever do it. I don't know why. Probably because I don't ever have any good bread
You
that's
could probably do
gluten-free.
that with one of those wraps.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe like a cheese tortilla.
think we should do that tonight.
Yeah. It's a lot of cheese.
That's okay.
I usually try to limit myself to like one slice of that stuff.
I know.
Because it is, it's again, it's a lot of, I try to stay away from all that processed food. So, you know, the substitute meat products, like the Beyond Meat products, we try to keep to once or twice a month, you know, and keep consuming the highly processed foods to a minimum. Because it's not healthy for you. Even just because it's plant-based doesn't mean it's healthy.
Sleepy.
Ready for a nap. I think I need another cup of coffee.
I'd actually go for a cup of coffee today.
You hear that, Brandon?
Half calf.
He said he
I don't need to be bouncing off the walls.
he needs some coffee.
Mom gets this stuff called Death Wish coffee, and it peels the paint off the inside of the pot because
It does
it's so
not.
strong.
Dad loves that coffee.
And so, if I drink that coffee, I'll be jittery for hours after that.
Oh, 20 pounds, V, that's really good.
What? I didn't see that.
Yeah, she said she stopped eating late.
Oh,
Yeah, we are so bad at that.
yeah, but that's what, you know, I've come to find as I've gotten older is you can't diet. You can't go on a diet. It's a joke to go on a diet. You have to change your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You can't look at it as this temporary thing of, oh, I'm gonna behave myself until I lose X amount of pounds, and then because you're setting yourself up for failure at the beginning because you're thinking that, you know, you adopt this behavior that gets you to this weight as on a temporary basis, and then you only have to, you know, keep behaving that way and having that diet until you get to your target weight. And then slowly but surely, you just kind of start to backslide. I know I have. You just start to backslide, and then before you know it, you've gained everything you've lost. And so that's why I think the main things that have helped me keep my weight to a more manageable level have been lifestyle changes, not diets. And so that's when I say, like, eating late. To change that would be a change in lifestyle, really. I think one of the things would have to happen is I'd have to start going to bed earlier, which is just not something I want to do right now. I find it difficult to focus on my work during the day, but at night I'm able to really focus on my work. I don't get distracted as easily. Intermittent fasting, yeah. So I fast. I don't really practice intermittent fasting. I usually do 2 fasts a year, and each one of them is 72 hours. So they're very challenging when I do them. She says scroll up. Okay, so only eat 1 meal a day at between midnight and 3 in the morning. So yeah, intermittent fasting. I've thought about trying that, the intermittent fasting. I've heard a lot of good things about it. And I've actually, you know, watched a lot of people talk about like how it works and how it keeps you in that, was it ketosis? And for me, I like to do the longer fast because that's when your body enters a state of, and I'm probably going to butcher the term, but autophagy, which is, and that's why I fast. I don't fast to lose weight or keep weight off. I do lose weight when I do that 72-hour fast, but not as much as you'd think. But my stomach shrinks a lot during that time. And so I'll actually continue to lose weight after that because I work really hard to not expand my stomach back out too quickly. Eventually it does, but I try to eat smaller meals after that. But autophagy is when your cells start to break down and consume their own damaged parts. And so that's supposed to be really good at helping kind of like clean your whole body out and reduce inflammation, and it helps get rid of like damaged cells, which can be, you know, can cause other disease in your body. And so I try to do that a couple times a year. It's definitely it's definitely a rough 3 days. I usually try to plan it out so that I don't have any strenuous activity scheduled for that time. I've thought about going longer than 72 hours, but usually by the end of 72 hours, I'm dying for anything to eat. Almost done, Brandy Chicken. Almost done. I hear Cookie in there. We'll do his foot soak tonight instead of this afternoon. We're still treating Cookie for his foot injury, his infection. I think we've got the infection under control, but it did so much damage to his foot. He's got these very large wounds that are just taking forever to close up. And he is very unhappy that he's in the house. He sits in there and bickers about it all day. Randy, you're almost done, baby. Almost. You get in there.
I need to clean Cookie's room up completely today.
Okay.
I think we should bandage his foot tomorrow and then go outside for the day.
That's fine. We had been putting him outside a lot with a bandaged foot. Like he would be in a cage off of the ground, but he'd be allowed to be outside with all the other birds. And that was making him happy, but the problem is he's at the stage with his foot where it needs to have a lot of air to help it dry out and help it close up. And we can't really do that and leave him outside because stuff will get down in those wounds. So he's having to stay inside a lot right now while that closes up.
And he is unhappy about it.
Do the comments stay up for you?
Mm-hmm.
My comments, I have to like swipe to the side and then they don't stay up.
It's some kind of setting you gotta fix. Hit those three dots and see if it pulls up anything.
No,
Mm.
I don't know what to do. It's not the end of the world. Come on. There you go.
One more.
Nah, probably two.
You think?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Two
I
more
try
bites.
not to give her too much at once. I worry that she'll choke on it.
Yeah.
Slow and steady wins the race, right, Brandy Chicken? Super floof. She's a super floof.
Girl. Good girl. So pretty.
Oh, you're enjoying watching the feeding. Well, I'm glad you like it. You know, I try to do these live streams, but everything's just, I'm so busy here right now. Ever since forming the sanctuary, we've probably increased our residents by like 50%. And so that takes a lot of time. And then you have you see how long it's taken me to feed her. We do that twice a day.
We used to have to do that twice a day with her, and twice a day with Cookie, and twice a day with Coffee.
Yeah, there was like a month there when it was like 3 chickens I was doing this with. Although Cookie goes a lot faster. He's got a big mouth.
He does.
I know, Brandy. And then on top of all that, I still have to work. Like we still have to work like a normal job. I mean, we're self-employed, but still got to put in at least 8 hours a day, but usually much more than that. All done.
Oh, you
So
all
it's hard
done.
to squeeze in alive most of the time.
You all done. Such a pretty girl. So beautiful. Such my pretty girl. Where you going? Where you gonna go? Huh? Where you gonna go, beautiful? Where you going, pretty girl? You all done eating?
Super food.
She said, now I need to go walk around on the blanket and poop. Ain't that right? Pretty girl, so beautiful. She's my bedroom buddy. She stays on the floor in my bedroom on a big old blanket. And she stays on the blanket for the most part. Where you going? Where you going? Pretty girl. All right, well, you can have her.
Oh, see, okay. I'm sitting here reading comments on your phone because the comments stay up. So that's funny. So Sunny said that she didn't even realize it was a live stream. She thought it was just a video upload. She made a comment. Well, I'm glad you stopped in to hang out with us. I appreciate it.
Where you going? No.
I think
No,
I'm gonna try to do live streams on YouTube. I really want to build the audience over here, but I don't know if I just haven't really figured it out, or like, you know, with TikTok, it seems like they at least push your video out to a few people or something like that. Doesn't seem to be the case with YouTube. Still cool to hang out with everybody.
V says she wants a bedroom chicken.
You want a bedroom chicken?
They are a lot of company. When I'm sitting back there working on my laptop, she'll sit on my lap and keep me company just like a cat would.
It is nice having her in the house. She does well in here. She's hiding her head. Can we take her?
Yeah,
Go
she's
put her
ready.
to bed.
Yeah, she's ready to go back on her blanket.
Come here.
Pussycat,
Come on, I got you.
pussycat.
Come on.
Okay.
I got you.
Covered in floof.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but I'm hungry. I haven't eaten anything today.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end the live. Thank y'all for hanging out with us.
It was good seeing you guys, although I didn't see you, but I got to speak with you.
So I'm gonna go ahead and end the live, but thank you for hanging out with us, and see y'all later.